You promise yourself. Tonight, before bed, you say it out loud. Tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow, you will wake up at 6 a.m. You will go to the gym. You will eat healthy. You will be productive. You will finally be the person you know you can be. And you mean it. You really do. But then tomorrow comes. The alarm goes off and you hit snooze. Not once, 3 times. You skip the gym. You grab fast food for lunch. You scroll for 3 hours. You accomplish nothing. And at the end of the day, you are right back where you started, promising yourself that tomorrow will be different. But here's the thing. Tomorrow is never different. And you have started to believe that maybe the problem is you. Maybe you just do not have willpower. Maybe you are lazy. Maybe discipline is something other people have, and you just don't. But what if I told you that's not the problem at all? What if the reason you can't stick to anything has nothing to do with your character and everything to do with your brain chemistry? Today, I want to show you exactly why discipline feels impossible. Not because you are weak, but because you are in debt. Dopamine debt. And until you understand how that works, you will keep making promises that you cannot keep. Let me explain. Your brain runs on dopamine. Now, most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that is not quite right. Dopamine is not pleasure. Dopamine is motivation. It is the feeling of wanting something, the drive to pursue a reward. And here's the critical part. Dopamine works like a credit card. When you do something that feels good, your brain releases dopamine. You get a hit, a spike, a rush of motivation and satisfaction. But here's what most people do not realize. Every time you get that hit, you're not earning dopamine, you are borrowing it from tomorrow. Think about it like this. You have a dopamine baseline, a normal resting level that your brain is calibrated to. When you eat junk food, scroll social media, binge a Netflix series, play video games for hours, you get a massive dopamine spike. But your brain does not like spikes. Your brain likes balance. So what does it do? It lowers your baseline. To compensate for the spike, your brain pulls dopamine from your future reserves, and the next day, your baseline is lower than it was before. So now, the things that used to motivate you do not work anymore. Waking up early does not feel rewarding. Going to the gym does not feel motivating. Eating healthy feels boring. Working on your goals feels like punishment, because your dopamine baseline is in the negatives. You are in debt. And just like financial debt, the interest compounds. Let me show you how this plays out. You wake up, your baseline is already low because you scrolled until midnight last night, so you grab your phone just to feel something. You scroll Instagram, watch TikToks, check your notifications. Boom, dopamine spike. Now you feel awake, but you have just borrowed more dopamine from later in the day. So by 10 a.m., you are crashing. You need another hit, so you grab a sugary snack or an energy drink, or you check your phone again. Another spike, more debt. By noon, you are exhausted, but you have not done anything yet. So you promise yourself you'll be productive after lunch. But after lunch, your baseline is even lower. So you need something stronger. You binge YouTube videos, you online shop, you do anything except the thing you are supposed to do. Because the thing you are supposed to do does not give you a dopamine spike. It requires discipline.
and discipline runs on a high baseline, which you do not have anymore. So you do not do it, and at the end of the day, you are deeper in debt than you were this morning, and you promise yourself tomorrow will be different. But it will not be, because tomorrow you will wake up even more depleted than today. This is the dopamine debt cycle, and most people are trapped in it without even knowing. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. Modern life is designed to keep you in debt. Everywhere you look, there are dopamine traps. Social media algorithms optimized to keep you scrolling, junk food engineered to hijack your reward system, streaming services with autoplay so you never have to make a decision, porn on demand, games designed to be addictive, notifications designed to pull you back in. Every single one of these things is a dopamine loan, and the interest rate is brutal.
The more you borrow, the lower your baseline drops. The lower your baseline drops, the harder discipline becomes. And eventually, normal, healthy activities stop feeling rewarding at all. You cannot focus. You cannot delay gratification. You cannot do hard things. Not because you are weak, but because your brain is running on empty. So how do you fix this? You cannot think your way out of dopamine debt. You cannot motivate your way out. You have to reset your baseline. And that requires doing something that feels impossible at first. You have to stop borrowing. This is what researchers call a dopamine detox. But it is not about avoiding all pleasure. It is about avoiding easy dopamine. Here's how it works. For 24 to 48 hours, you eliminate the main sources of cheap dopamine hits. No phone scrolling, no junk food, no video games, no streaming, no porn. Just you and boredom. And here's what happens. At first, you will feel terrible, restless, anxious, like you're missing something. This is withdrawal. Your brain is looking for the dopamine it's used to.
But if you sit with that discomfort, something incredible happens. Your baselines start to rise. Because you are not borrowing anymore, you are letting your reserves refill. And after 24 to 48 hours, normal activities start to feel rewarding again. A walk outside feels pleasant, a conversation feels engaging, working on a goal feels motivating. Not because those things changed, but because your baseline changed. Now, I need to be clear about something. A dopamine detox is not a one-time fix. It is a reset. What matters more is what you do after. Because if you go right back to scrolling for hours and eating junk and binging content, you will be right back in debt within days. The real solution is learning to protect your baseline. That means being intentional about how you get dopamine. Choose hard dopamine over easy dopamine. Hard dopamine comes from working toward a goal, exercising, creating something, having a meaningful conversation, solving a difficult problem. These things require effort, but they build your baseline over time. Easy dopamine comes from scrolling, junk food, binge watching, video games, porn. These things require no effort, but they drain your baseline. The difference between a disciplined person and an undisciplined person is not willpower, it is baseline. Disciplined people protect their dopamine baseline. They do not borrow from tomorrow. So when it is time to do something hard, they have the reserves to do it. Undisciplined people spend their dopamine on easy hits, so when it is time to do something hard, they have nothing left. So here is what I want you to try. Pick one day this week and do a 24-hour dopamine reset. No phone scrolling, no junk food, no easy entertainment. Just sit with the discomfort and notice what happens. You might be surprised at how much energy you have when you stop draining it on things that do not matter. You are not lazy, you are not weak, you do not lack discipline. You are just in debt, and debt can be paid off. It just requires you to stop borrowing from a future you are trying to build. I'll see you in the next one.